So we've been watching for a nation that cannot save us. We've been doing this in every slavery we've been in because we've regenerated spiritually, right? We've been in a Greek captivity.
Right.
We've been in an Assyrian captivity.
Right.
You were a slave at some point in these different lands. Even your forefathers that were slaves here in America 200 years ago, you were there with them in the spirit.
Right.
So what the Bible is saying is, as for our vain help, we've been longing for a nation that cannot save us.
That's right.
What club was that at?
That was admit that a lot of people don't even realize they.
I've called her. She hasn't responded. I've called her more than a few times.
But the Zulu nation, I'm like, what the hell is this? I know nobody know what I'm talking about. You'll leave me on the island by myself. I don't know what the hell Bishop's talking about. That's what y'all do. Then after class, yeah, I knew what you were talking about. I just don't want to be caught out there. The hell is this? Get on my damn nerves. So read that again, 31.
Hey, shalom, hermano. Shalom, hermano. Nos enseñamos, estamos aquí para enseñarle la Biblia. Okay, we are here, family, to teach the blacks and Hispanics, the Native American people. We've been lied to for a very long time.
Right.
We're out here to teach our people the truth according to the Bible. Okay, we lost our heritage, our identity as a people.
That's right.
And there's only one thing on the planet that can give us the answers. Okay, give me what you got.
The book of John, chapter 8 and 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
So the truth shall make you free. Ain't nothing you're gonna do going to a voting poll within the next few weeks gonna set you free.
That's right.
We've tried that for decades.
Right.
That ain't gonna do nothing for our people. Okay? As the wealth gap increases, we see a very marginal increase with the wealth of our people,
right,
the blacks and Hispanics. We're still at the very bottom of the totem pole. So why do we keep voting? Okay? Mi hermana, ¿qué te piensas? ¿Es necesario para votar? ¿Debemos votar nosotros? What you think, my brother? Should we be voting? We got to start thinking about this stuff.
Right.
We can't go through the day-by-day cycle like we have been. Read it again.
The book of John, chapter 8 and verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
So, what's the truth? The truth is, for one thing, Christ is a black man.
Right.
We can prove that with the Bible. My sister, should we go vote? Hey, my brother, are we voting? Who are you voting for?
I already voted, Grandma.
Who you vote for?
That's my choice.
I'm just asking, who you vote for?
Let me.
Yeah, come on, we're here to talk. No, brother, no, you gotta still be. You good. We just dialogue.
Just let me say this.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No. Oh, okay. What you got? It's not for Trump. Okay. So hey, that's fine, but hey, I'm just here to talk. My brother, I got one question with that. Okay, give me Lamentation 4:17. So what I was telling my brothers that were walking by earlier is my question was what have we seen with our people, blacks and Hispanics, voting? What changes have we seen for the betterment of our people within the past couple of decades? Because I see you're an older gentleman, you got some wisdom, you've seen the progression and the decline of our races. So I'm just asking, like, as far as voting goes, what have you seen change for our communities as a whole? This is a real question. Nothing. Okay, I appreciate your honesty.
I am being honest.
Right. So I'm gonna show you something what the Bible says with that, because the Bible speaks about future, present, and past prophecy. You understand? The Bible records everything that our people go through. So I want you to hear this before you do.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and 17. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. And our watching, we have watched for a nation that cannot save us.
So we've been watching for a nation that cannot save us. We've been doing this in every slavery we've been in because we've regenerated spiritually, right? We've been in a Greek captivity.
Right.
We've been in an Assyrian captivity.
Right.
You were a slave at some point in these different lands. Even your forefathers that were slaves here in America 200 years ago, you were there with them in the spirit.
Right.
So what the Bible is saying is, as for our vain help, we've been longing for a nation that cannot save us.
That's right.
Martin Luther King, I'm not no dissing on the brother. He did a lot of works for the nation, but ultimately he wasn't the Messiah. You understand what I'm saying? That was not ordained for him to do that. Same with Malcolm X. Okay, same with a lot of the Spanish brothers. Okay, Cesar Chavez. He tried to do things for the agricultural benefit of the Hispanic brothers, but it didn't work out.
Right.
Ultimately, in the long run, right? Because what does the Bible say? Read it one more time.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and 17. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help, and our watching, we have watched for a nation that cannot save us.
So if the Bible is saying that, give me Deuteronomy 17:15. What do you think the law is on that? Okay. What do you think? God gives us laws and statutes and commandments to follow. What do you think God says about voting in general? And while you think about that answer just for a second, hey, ¿cómo está, familia? Hey, ¿qué te piensas? ¿Debemos votar? ¿Debemos votar para Trump o Kamala? ¿Qué te piensas? ¿Es necesario? What you think, brother?
Hey, man. I mean, we all go through things in life, each and every day.
Right.
So I just try to do the right thing each and every day.
I got you.
I try to help people if I can help them. With someone not trying to use me, because you can see through bull crap.
Right, you can. Yes, sir.
And I see through it every day. So if I can help anyone, I'm going to help them. But we also have to help ourselves. So by me voting this year for the election, I did choose my choice. I made my choice, and I did what I needed to do.
Right. So
Whether that helps us in the future, I don't know. But we'll see.
give me the biggest nice and send it to me. So what you said, like for example, you said you see the BS in brothers, right?
Yeah, I mean,
What do you see in politicians? You see
all that.
You see all that in them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you're going to catch it on both sides, the Democrats and the Republicans. Actually, I take it back. Go to Revelations real quick. I want you to see something a little bit more about this concerning voting. Because this is something that was, again, prophesied in the Bible. I believe it's, let me see, Revelation 12. The one where it says the soft as a lamb. They spake as a lion and a dragon. If you can find that for me. So the Bible goes into detail about the ruling nation that we're under right now, America.
What is it, sir?
Daniel's 4 and 17. Go ahead and get that. Yes, sir. So I'm going to show you that the Bible goes in detail in every land that we were going to be enslaved in and captivated in, where we weren't going to be ruling. We're still subject to the laws of this land that another nation creates for us. You understand? We don't rule this land. The Bible explains that. Go ahead and read what you got.
The book of Daniel, chapter 4 and 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will.
Right. So ultimately, it says, yes, sir. So the Bible says that ultimately God is going to give the ruler of who he will. He's going to choose the ruler of the land. Right. He's going to, for example, the presidents. So whether he wants Trump to win, whether he wants Kamala Harris to win, God is going to make sure an election gets rigged a certain way to make sure that man carries out the will that he wants in his heart.
Right.
Okay, you understand? The heart of the king is coming from the Lord.
There's more on that.
That's what. Go ahead and finish it off.
And setteth up over it the basest of men.
Oh, hear this, brother. It said, what does Bible say? Hear this part. Well, read it for him again. Hear this part right here. Read the first part and read on.
And setteth up over it the basest of men.
So over the kingdoms of all the lands in the world, he sets up the basest of men to rule.
Right.
You came over here and you kind of set it to the side, but you can consider Trump as a base man.
That's right.
You understand? He can set up, even though this is, I'm not, look, well, the point of the Bible is saying he sets up the basis of men.
Right.
And it's ultimately to humble us because we forgot who we are. And that's the point.
Right.
We're not Americans.
Right.
We're not, that's not our true identity.
Right.
We shouldn't be voting alongside of people, like I mentioned earlier, the wealth gap. Theirs is astronomically different from us. Okay? Blacks and Hispanics, when you look, I can't remember the actual numbers, but if you look at it on a graph, they're down here way at the marginal piece of the bottom.
That's right.
Okay? Although we get, small subsidies, a little bit of increases in welfare and things which ultimately don't benefit us, okay, we are still stuck at the bottom. While the other nations continue to grow in wealth, that comes from our backs in slavery.
That's right.
Okay, that's old money. That's things that is going to continue to happen, but you got to ask yourself why. What's your name, sir? Vance?
Van.
Mr. Van. Okay, so with that being said, I want you to see something real quick. So check this out right here. You see on this sign, it has 12 tribes. 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, where do you see yourself on the sign concerning the names? It's in Spanish, but you can read it. It says Negro Americano. It say Indio, West Indians. It say Haitians. Where do you fall under?
The first one?
The first one.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can prove biblically that all these people are the true Israelites. But guess what? Regardless of who you voted for, like let's just say you voted for Kamala or Trump, you told me. But regardless of who you voted for, who are they going to support in the land in the Middle East today? What is the nation going to force them to support? What country? The land of Israel, right? The Israelis. The Israelis. So regardless of who you vote for, they already predetermined you're going to set these policies in place to ensure our fellow white man, you can say, because they're not the true Israelites, they're Israelis.
Right.
They're going to make sure that they support them with billions of dollars a year.
Right.
Get Revelation 2:9 real quick. So, in order to know who's your enemy, you got to know who you are first.
That's right.
Now let's read this. I'm going to show you that these people are your enemy. And regardless of who you vote for, my brother, that's what I'm trying to tell you, is that it's not the betterment of our people, but for their gain. Okay, for their nationhood. Read that.
The book of Revelation, chapter 2 and verse 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich.
So this is Christ in the spirit talking to the prophet, right? It's similar to the prophets representing our nation of people when he's talking to them. Read it again.
I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich.
So I know your tribulation and your works, the hard things you go through, and your poverty. Why? Because the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans were at the bottom.
Right.
You understand? We are not the wealthiest people, like I mentioned that graph. We're at the bottom.
That's right.
Read on.
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not.
So when you vote, this is who it's talking about, who you're going to be voting to support. Okay, read it again.
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not.
Those people in Israel today, they're not the real Jews.
Right.
Okay, we're the real Jews.
Right.
Okay, read on.
But are the synagogue of Satan.
The Bible is calling a nation of people the synagogue of Satan. That's the church of all evil. So you can understand. But that's referring to a nation of people. There's a people on the planet saying they are the Jews and they're really not.
Right.
So if they're not the real Jews, then who's the real Jews? Give me Job 9:24.
What is it?
Job 9:24. Matter of fact, go to Deuteronomy 28. I'm going to get to the point. So, my brother, like I asked you earlier, where do you see yourself on the sign? You said you're so-called Negro Americano, right? In translation. That's Judah. That's the tribe of Judah, biblically speaking. We can prove that with prophecy. Right. You're a Jew. Jew is short for Judah.
Right.
That's where it all connects. Now you got to see. So these people, these bastards, because the bastard is just an illegitimate child.
Right.
These bastards that are living in our land, are destroying the earth.
Right.
But we're at the bottom right now. So the question is, why aren't we there? Okay, go ahead and read Deuteronomy 28:15.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So, Mr. Van, if we didn't do what God told us to do, which was keep his laws, statutes, and commandments, because we are the real Jews,
right.
If we didn't do that, curses were going to come upon us as a people, okay? That's something that never left us. That's why I use that, the voting example. We're still here, but go back to Lamentation 4:17 real quick. You can hold that, but go back to Lamentation 14. That's why I went there to explain, why are we voting for a people that still oppress us?
Right.
They're not, I mean, what race is Kamala Harris? What is she ethnically? What race is she?
I really don't know the answer to that, truthfully. She goes as black.
She goes in black?
As black.
She goes as black. My brother, see, that's part of the thing I'm talking about. That's a lie.
Well,
she's how you say Elam, the East Indian. She's a East Indian. The Bible calls that race of people an Elamite. When you read the scriptures, all of these people set over us are our enemies.
Right.
That's why when we read back in Daniel, when it was saying he sets the faces of men over us, whether it is Kamala, an East Indian, whether it's Trump, a Roman, a white Roman, that's his descendants, his descendancy line. These people are based because they don't keep God's laws. Okay? And they're sent here to destroy us. Read that.
The book of Lamentation, chapter 4 and 17. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help, and our watching we have watched for.
So it's a vain help, Mr. Van. I need you to really take this in. It's vain.
Right.
It's a vain thing to hope that these people are going to do something for us.
Right.
Read on.
And our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
So we're sitting here going every 4 years or every 2 years voting for the local governors, whatever the case is, hoping and praying that something's going to change and betterment of our people. It's not going to go down like that. God already ordained it. Go back to Deuteronomy 28. God already ordained that we're a cursed people because we didn't keep his laws. So the solution is what, Mr. Van? It's not voting, it's what? Read it one more time. Read 15 one more time.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So, my brother Ben, what's the opposite? If we were to keep God's laws and commandments, it said we were put curses on us because we didn't keep the laws. If we did keep the laws, what would happen in reverse?
I gotta go, man.
Okay, my brother, read on.
I command thee this day that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
We are still cursed in the city as a people, as a race of people.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is